How can you make custom effect sounds to spice up your track, to make it more complex sounding, to spice up your arrangement in a simple but subtle way? But actually this makes a huge impact even if you don't hear it in first place. I show you a little example in a minute, but if you want to know how you can create custom made effect sounds that are tailored to your needs, to your taste, you see it in this video. It's a simple tool called Wavetable from Ableton Live. If you have Ableton Suite, you are already covered, so you can just make your own effect sounds. And yeah, we do a little bit of more kind of a jam session here. I want to break it down in detail, but I ended up doing more kind of a casual experimentation jam like video. I hope you like it. I hope it inspires you. My name is Silvano from ruffinstudio.com. Now, if you want something that can spice up your effect sounds with just a few clicks, I want to give you something for free, which is my one tool preset pack. Basically, this is a pack of effect plugins, stock plugins from Ableton with some macros assigned to it, so you can quickly adjust the effects and make and spice up your spice up your sounds within just a few clicks, a few seconds, to make them more complex. So if you want that, if this sounds interesting to you, go and click the video below or also the link here up there. Then you get it shipped to your inbox for free. And yeah, now let's jump over to this week's video. I hope this is inspiring. Thanks for watching. Yeah, let's jump over. Cheers. Alright, friend, welcome to this week's video. I want to talk a little bit more about how you can make effect sounds, custom effect sounds with a simple tool from Ableton Live. That if you have Ableton Live Suite, you already own it, which is Wavetable. I focused on sound design with Wavetable for quite a bit now. You saw it probably in previous videos. I'm a big fan of this little tool actually. So what I wanted to talk about is effect sounds that you can, I call them ear candy, so they pop up now and then just on some impacts within the arrangement, right? So maybe on a transition or whatever, or just to make the arrangement a little bit more exciting sounding. You can really spice up your track with those little bits and pieces in the background with some small little background swish and effect sounds to spice up your track in a subtle way that you can't hear immediately, but it's still there, you know. And I think that really makes a big difference in the overall sound of and quality of a track, or also in arrangement, right? So what I'm talking about is effect sounds like these ones. I got inspired by a Sila Pexi sample pack. Let me play some samples here. Right, here's our version, custom made. Hope you get the idea. Maybe. And so on, right? And yeah, I was just playing around a little bit here. And then what I would do is I simply would resample the sound, right? And then I would simply cut out the good pieces here and then further process them maybe. Pitching them down maybe. This part more. Maybe even this one here. And maybe I would add a filter delay here. Right, I added the filter delay because it gives some kind of a tail, you know, it doesn't stop just right there after the sample, because I think I need to tweak the patch here a little bit so it fades out longer here. Maybe with the LFO the rate here is maybe too short, right? So maybe 8 bar would do the job. Because here it just stops abruptly, right? It would be nice if it would just go on 0. But with the filter delay we kind of can attack that issue. Texture thing here with the basic loop here that I created. So here again is this texture loop that we just created, right? Right? And here's the other one that we recorded up here. Even this one, I think it's also very nice in context, even if it's not perfect by its own. Right? Without them. We would want something to happen here or here in the beginning. Let's add that quickly again. Right? It's very subtle in the background, but something happens. Could even try this one here or both together, right? Big difference in my opinion. Versus boring versus textures. This one serves perfect as a little impact sound, right? With that little attack here. Now the big question is, how do we create that, right? That's the big question. So I'll show you the little patch here, and basically it's 2 layers, right? So each wavetable synth contains 2 oscillators, right? And I basically made an instrument chain and added 1 layer. So basically this is one instance of wavetable synth, and then another one with another setting here, right? Containing both different oscillators. Now what I found really interesting is, now of course we have the automation here going on because we dialed some and recorded that. But so basically the first thing here is something to trigger it, right? You can also use some notes, some MIDI notes, a keyboard, whatever, and trigger them just like that. But what I like to do is just use random setting here on MDD Snake, so it spits out some notes here and there, and speed, slower speed, so it can kind of evolve, the sound can evolve, right? And also I choose a bigger range of notes, so this range means lower and higher notes, right? If I would just use the bar down here, it would only play lower notes, and the opposite is true if I just use the setting on the upper notes, right? So it would only play upper notes. Now, first thing, just this instance already gives a lot to the sound. Maybe let's go just through the layer 1, because otherwise I think the video gets too long. Maybe we can cover this in a part 2, I don't know. The point is to give you some inspiration, right? And what I found is, especially the setting here with the filter, using the split mode and using an LFO brings a lot variation, complexity to the sound, right? And honestly, I experimented a lot with different wavetables here. So you have different sections here, and then simply try out different settings here. So you get a lot of different textures out of that, and then you simply record it like we just did before, right? And then you cut out the good pieces and add some more effects, maybe pitching it up, pitching it down, adding maybe an auto filter or some movement to it, whatever you like, and then use it wherever you want, right? But so let's go through this patch here. So again, I choose a wavetable and just experiment. Now here you can mix oscillator 1 together with the oscillator 2. Basically this is the gain for oscillator 2 and oscillator 1, right? So you mix them together. Now we only hear oscillator 2, right? If I would turn this down, no sound. Up. And then the beauty about this synth is, if you just use this simple dial here, you can get a lot of variation already out of it. So this basically fades through the wavetable, right? The beauty is we can automate that. So if you just click on whatever value you want, it gets activated here inside the matrix, right? So if I click here, you see oscillator position, and then I basically can assign an LFO or envelope 2 if I want to, envelope 3 or to the amp or whatever you like. Just experiment, have fun. In my case, I assigned it to LFO1. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, I like that, honestly. Sorry, I like that. You see, I just experiment. One dial can change a lot. What if we choose another vocal signs? Can also use the little arrows here to switch the different wavetables. Some tonal stuff. I pitch this down. What happens if we just go to normal pitch? And what happens if we just add that filter delay here, just after that wavetable synth here? Make that a little bit longer, maybe, I don't know. The rate. So we have a lot of feedback here from the filter delay. So what really changed the sound a lot, as you can just hear, is first wavetables, different wavetables, pitch, and then assigning different values to automate it with an LFO. And to make more kind of evolving sounds, I like to use longer rates, right? Because we need to give some time to evolve for the sound. And you can also use the attack here, as you can see, so it gives a little bit of a fade for that LFO to fade in, right? And of course also the amp brings a lot to the evolving sounds. So you can also make it short if you want more percussive impacting sounds. Release maybe a little bit back. Let's make it a little bit louder here. So I'm just jamming here. Now let's listen to this quickly in context, maybe with this drum loop here. Right? It's a big difference already if you just use it wisely maybe. See, and with the resonance we can add those kind of layers, sweeps, whatever you want to call it. And of course add some reverb to it. And that's basically the whole magic. I mean, this really should just give you some inspiration triggers, I call them. Use what works for you, leave what doesn't work for you. This is kind of an advice buffet. So really, I would encourage you to first experiment with some dials, you know, and if you found, okay, that sounds kind of interesting, then I would assign it to some dials here. For example, it quickly pops up, as you can see. If you play around with this one, you can see it here in the matrix, and then I simply assign it to an LFO. And if the LFO doesn't fit my needs or my taste, I simply click on the LFO, changing the rate a little bit, changing the shape maybe, right, the amount, adding some effects on top of it, and that's basically all you can do. And this is even just with, no, it's two oscillators, but it's just one instance, right? But here we have another layer, right? You can basically go crazy, add another layer, simply copy this one maybe, and then use another setting here maybe, if you like this, So we could maybe use one for more kind of impact sound if we like to, more snappy stuff. The second one maybe more, a little bit longer, evolving. Let's try that. Right, this is one sound. And if one LFO is not enough, you can still add another one here from Ableton itself, right? And use that to assign even more things to whatever you like, right? Let's go crazy here, I don't know. I have a macro here that means blend, so I can use layer 1 and blend in between those two layers. What happens if we use other nodes here? Can also play with the effects, right? For example, I don't know, corpus maybe. There you go, you have thousands of effects at your fingertips with an Ableton Live. I hope you like that. I hope this is inspiring. It's more like a little jam session here, but I hope it still inspires you. Let's save those things here. Save the patch maybe. And yeah, hope you like this. Again, different wavetables, split, frequency, filter, and then assign LFOs to it, play around with the amp. If you can just do that, even start out with one oscillator and see how far you can come, and with just one oscillator, one effect, I think you explore it very well, and you will be surprised what results you can get out of this wavetable synth, which is basically a stock plugin, right?